I just want to let you know, if you have spent years writing your book, just thinking about the book you want to write and you've done nothing with it, I just want to let you know you're not alone. Last week was the first time that I sat down and started working on my book. I started taking it seriously, and I am working on the second draft of my story after putting it off for years. And I have to admit, last video I did a really crappy job of explaining the reason why I wanted to write my book and what my book is all about. But you know what? I'm here for the messy journey. Last video, I started again looking at my character profile and the character art. And in this video, I want to go over my outline of the book. I want to re-outline my entire book. And this is going to be a challenge, a really tough. This is going to be a challenge for me because I am a discovery writer. Whenever I have a book idea, the first thing I do, I don't world build. I don't write an outline. I don't even start with character profiles. I just start writing a scene that comes in my head. And usually, for some reason, when I have an idea, it's usually, I feel like it's maybe the exciting incident or it's the midpoint of the book. It's always either one of those areas, always in the middle of something going on, but I am not much of a plotter. I hate plotting, and this video is going to be a challenge, but I know I need one because that's the reason why my first draft is really bad. The ending to me sucks. If you read my book, the first draft, you'll feel disappointed when you get to the end. I'm really excited because this is the second week of me working again on my debut novel. Last week we did character profiles and we did some revisions for character arcs because I feel like a lot of my characters were very flat, especially the antagonist. It was just a character that had no real goals or motivation, and my female protagonist, I felt like she was very flat. She just went with the flow of the plot. Her character was too reliant on her male protagonist, the love interest of the story. So my story, it is a historical fiction. It's set in the late 1960s and it's in the early 70s. And it is a forbidden love story, which is one of my favorite tropes. She's from a rising, new money, upper middle class family, and he is from the old money, traditional conservative family. He has royal blood in his veins, and she's African American, New Yorker. I just feel like that should be a perfect recipe for a really good story. I got a little bit of inspiration from, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. They really inspired my book, like the Netflix drama The Crown and a lot of political dramas I watch. They really inspired me to write this story. Look, I love the idea of my story, but the plot sucks. So my plan is to go over a list that I made. When I told you before that I was trying to write the second draft of my novel in the past, and the advice where they tell you to take a break for at least 3 to 6 months from your book. I did that, and then after that time break, I came back and I read an article where it said that you're supposed to make a problem list and a solution list. After you read over your story, you jot down everything that was wrong with the book. And he recommend that you put a category every time you find a problem. What categories to go in? Is it a character issue? Is it a world building issue? Is it a plot issue? Just write it down. And they also said get another piece of paper and make a solution list. How do you plan to fix the problems? And I did that. So I am going to use that today to help me figure out how I need to outline this book. And over the past few times I have tried to write the second draft of my book, I've been writing random scenes that I want to include in the second draft. And like I said before, y'all, I'm a pantser discovery writer. So I'm going to use my list that I made, and I'm going to use the Google Doc where I have all these random scenes that I've written out. And maybe that can help me with the outline. So maybe go out to Starbucks today and sit down and work on my outline for at least maybe 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. I don't know. I think there's a live stream going on today, if I'm correct. I think a live stream at 10 o'clock today. So I want to make sure I get there in time to use her live stream to help me write. But with that being said, we're going to go over and work on outlining this book. I don't know what happened between yesterday and today, but I woke up not feeling great at all. I could feel it, and my throat was kind of scratchy. I felt like I had to swallow a lot, and I did feel a little fatigued. Yesterday, I woke up later than I wanted to, and then today, I woke up even later. I was starting to get hot. I wanted the AC on really bad, so I feel like I am coming down with something. So I'm trying to nurse this cold or whatever I have with this chamomile tea, which I wish to God was a brown sugar iced latte right now. I'm not really the biggest fan of tea. I like black tea and chai tea sometimes, but I want to become a person that loves tea because some people just make tea look so good. But anyway, oh my gosh, yesterday, y'all, I struggled to get stuff done at Starbucks. I'm telling you, if you have a hard time focusing or paying attention, or you're not good at blocking out distractions, do not take your work to a cafe shop. I thought I could do it because usually in the past, I do pretty good at ignoring my surroundings, but yesterday was a challenge. It took me over 30 minutes to get settled. I was struggling to get settled with my drink, my laptop set up, and I just kept looking around at all the other distractions around me. I kept trying to have a conversation with my sister. And then when I finally sat down and started working on my outline, then this gentleman walks into Starbucks and he starts a full conversation. And it was a good conversation, nothing against it at all, but it was just so long. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got nothing done. I walked out of Starbucks barely getting all the stuff I want to get done. So I had to come home and work on Save the Cat outline. I was just going to straight up just start outlining the whole plot. But I was like, wait a minute. Why don't I just start with antagonists like I did with the character profile and the character arc? Because like I said before, I read from this other author, K.M. Whitland, and she was saying that it's best to start with the antagonist. And I was like, that makes so much sense because it is the antagonist it's the antagonist that stirs up the conflict, the obstacles the characters must face throughout the book. So I decided to just start outlining with her. And I had to say it was a bit of a struggle because I didn't want her to be evil just to say that she's evil. I want her to have an emotional reason why she's the way she is and what she thinks she does. And I feel like to me, one of the best antagonists is the ones that think they're right and the ones that feel like they can justify their actions. In their eyes, I like the antagonists that feel like in their eyes, what they're doing is right. What they're doing is helping themselves and helping other people. And they feel like that they just see themselves as the hero of the story in a way. So I started outlining her, and I had to say it was not easy at all. I spent a couple hours in the evening and last night trying to brainstorm how I want her to be. And then I finally went to the protagonist, and I already have an idea how I want it. Now with outlining my antagonist, I got to all the way, I did Act 1, I did Act 2A, Act 2B, and I didn't get to Act 3 because I was getting kind of tired. So I took a break, walked away from that, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just going to save Act 3 for today. And today, I feel like I need to wrap up, finish the antagonist, and then go back and do the protagonist. And I don't want to put too much details into my outline because I'm a pantser and I want to embrace the fact that I am a pantser because I feel like sometimes I get my best ideas from when I'm actually writing the story. Sometimes I get better ideas from my outline when I'm actually writing, if that makes sense. And I just do it enough to give me some guidance, to show me which direction the story will go. Because there's going to be some moments when I write a second draft where I feel very confused on what should happen next, and I just have like a brain fart. I just don't know what to do next. So finish up the antagonist with the third act and finish up with the two protagonists. And I thought about doing chapter by chapter outline. I'm still not sure if I want to do that, but if I do, maybe just do a short summary of what I want to happen in each chapter. Maybe 1 to 3 sentences of how I want each chapter to be laid out. just finished sprint 1, and I have to confess, I really didn't get a lot done with the outline because I really want to spend the first sprint doing a warm-up, and I feel like I want to get practice in writing itself. I know plotting is also included in writing, obviously, but I wanted to practice with my character voice, and I want to practice just writing out some lines or things my antagonist would say. And I want warm-ups to be a part of my writing routine. These warm-ups help me get better at my writing skills, but it will also help me remember the type of character my antagonist is. And I want to make sure that her voice doesn't sound like me, so I really want to just spend, every time I get ready to write or start a new writing session, I want to practice with my characters, maybe doing dialogue they would say, or maybe even doing journal entries, just pretend they're writing in their diary their deepest thoughts, the secrets, and their opinions of other characters. And it's just, not only is it a good practice, but I just feel like it's so fun. So I did that for about the first sprint, and I need to finish Act 3. So I think I should be able to finish with her during this next sprint, and then I can move on to the protagonist. I hope y'all can see that. My Save the Cat outline on my Notion. I love using Notion to work on my novel. But anyway, I did a rough Save the Cat outline. I wrote way too much information and I got kind of tired. There are some beats of the Save the Cat that I left a little blank because I wasn't really sure what I want to happen there. And I didn't want to outline too much because, like I said before, I am a pantser. But I decided to do this. I'm not doing a chapter by chapter outline. I have decided that instead, let's just say tomorrow I want to start writing second draft. Tonight, I will write down what I want to happen in the first chapter. Just use my Save the Cat outline as a bit of a guidance of what big events are coming up. But the day before I actually start writing, I do any writing session, I am going to write down my goal for the writing session. What do I want to happen in certain scenes? What scenes do I want to write? What is the goal each scene? And what all needs to happen in one chapter? So I'm just going to take it baby steps at a time. So honest, I have been thinking a lot about my outline. Even though I outlined the book, and I'm gonna admit there are some parts of the outline that are missing, and I'm just still concerned about the structure. And I know a lot of us pantsers, even myself, we hate outline. We just want to forget the outline. We just want to start writing the scenes that make us excited. The scenes where there's action, there's drama, there's romance. I just want to start writing this now. But this is why I spent months struggling to actually sit down and write a second draft. I feel like a plot is not only good for good storytelling, but it also gives me clarity of which direction the story is going. And a good story has a plot, structure, and character transformation. So that's why I decided to just read Save the Cat. I want to educate myself with storytelling. So I want to make it my mission to educate myself in the writing world. I think in the past, it was just a hobby. Even though I want to be a writer, I didn't take it seriously like a real writer. I just treat it as a hobby. So I want to take it seriously. I want to study story structure a bit more. I want to learn character arcs, and I want to dive deeper into personality types. I think it's best for me to just educate myself on this. However, I don't want to overplan because I think that's another problem with me. I could spend too long and waste a lot of time just over planning rather than just taking action. So I want to find balance. I feel like I'm a mixture between a pantser and a plotter. So tonight I'm going to read a little bit more of this book. I haven't purchased it yet because I guess before I purchase any book, I like to just read a few pages of it to make sure this is actually worth my money and time reading it. So I made me some tea and I'm just going to spend a few more minutes just reading through the book right now. And I love the fact that he said that he has practice. I believe he said at the end of each chapter there's exercise I could do to practice, and not only want to do it with my story, my debut novel, but I want to practice with other story ideas I have. In the comments below, let me know, are you a pantser, a plotter, or are you in between? And also let me know in the comments if you ever read Save the Cat book. And with that being said, y'all, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.